I'm John Barklow, and I'm the Senior Product Manager of Hunting at Sitka Gear. And over the last 24 years, I've developed a lot of technical clothing systems, both for the military and for Sitka. And upon reflection, thinking about what I continually put in my pack and kind of what my go-tos are, I realized that technical clothing to the general consumer has become a little more complicated than it needs to be. You only need 8 pieces to build a truly capable technical clothing system. Now, this 8-piece clothing system is not just built for the big game hunter or a particular environment or a particular hunting pursuit, but really when we start to break it down and you look at the individual components of an 8-piece clothing system and really what an 8-piece clothing system's performance is intended to be, it really becomes quite simple to assemble a system that's going to work for you, work for your individual needs, your individual pursuits, and your individual times a year that you choose to go outdoors. So the performance that we seek when we assemble an 8-piece clothing system is to, 1, manage moisture. And so that management of moisture is either from the inside out in the form of sweat or from the outside in the form of, say, rain or snow. The second one is to maintain body warmth, right? It's that thermal regulation. So we want to make sure that we can either dump heat in a hot environment or capture that body heat in a cold environment to stay warm. And then the third metric is to protect ourselves overall from the elements, be it rain, be it snow, be it wind, or be it abrasion from rocks and vegetation. So at a high level, the 8 pieces that make up a technical clothing system are 1, a base layer top, 2, a base layer bottom, 3, a pair of softshell pants, 4, an active insulated top, 5, a windstopper top, 6, a static puffy jacket, piece 7, a rain jacket, and piece 8, a rain pants. These 8 pieces assembled together are going to take care of the vast majority of our needs in North America, no matter the time of year or the hunting pursuit that we choose. And all these things work together as a harmonious system. And so when you assemble all these 8 pieces and look at it, it's important to look at not individual pieces, but look at the 8-piece system the way it's intended, which is a holistic system that works together to achieve a high performance. So within these 8 pieces, there's lots of nuance, there's lots of choices and details for the hunter to kind of pick and choose and build a custom system for themselves, no matter the time of year, the hunting discipline, or how they choose to pursue these animals. So let's dig into some of those details now and discuss some of the nuances of building a customized 8-piece clothing system. So in this system, we have a core lightweight top and bottom. Now, as mentioned previously, the base layer is foundational to a clothing system. The sole intent of a base layer is to manage moisture, to pull that moisture off my skin. And again, in a hot environment, as that moisture is pulled from my skin, I'm going to cool down. But in a cold environment, I want that skin dry, so the base layer pulls that moisture through this layer into the other layers, again, so I can thermoregulate myself. Now, there's lots of choices when it comes to a base layer. You have hoodies and long sleeve and zips and crews. I prefer something with a hood and long sleeves to provide as much skin contact as possible. And again, when it comes to the base layer bottom, I often get the question, well, why do I really need to bring a base layer bottom? Again, it's foundational to the system. So if I have a lightweight base layer contacting my skin, managing that moisture, no matter what I'm doing, be it hiking to a ridge, post-holing through snow, this system is pulling that moisture off my skin to help me stay comfortable and focused and warm. Now, the choices within a base layer are really, do you want synthetic or do you want wool? I like to say it's shooter's choice. You really can't make a mistake by choosing either one of those. Now, synthetic tends to dry a little quicker. There's lots of product forms available at Sitka to choose from. Whereas merino dries a little slower, but it manages odor exceptionally well. So if you're that person that wants to hang out in the tent with your buddy for 10 days, maybe you're going to choose merino. Maybe if you're going to the whitetail stand, merino may be a better option because you want to make sure that you do everything in your power to manage your scent. I tend to be pro-synthetic, not anti-merino, just because I like the quick drying properties of a synthetic base layer. But again, you can't go wrong as long as you choose a lightweight base layer as the foundation of your 8-piece system. So the next piece is a pair of softshell pants. There are lots and lots and lots of options in a pair of softshell pants. This is an Ascent pant here. Really, this comes down to personal choice as far as feature sets. Do you want knee pads? Do you want those removable? What kind of cargo pockets do you want? Are you seeking quiet because you're a spot and stalk archery hunter? Or do you seek durability because you're a sheep hunter going to be sliding down and crawling through the rocks? Really, whatever you decide, you need to make sure that the pant is durable and it provides that protection. I also want to make sure that a pant has a DWR on it to shed light, rain, and snow, and that if and when it does get a little damp, that I can dry it quickly and efficiently in the field. As long as you pick something that's a polyester or a nylon, maybe even got some wool content like an Intercept pant, you're not going to make a poor choice. Again, this is one place where you really have lots and lots of options to personalize the softshell pant to your needs and style. The next piece in an 8-piece clothing system is an active mid-layer insulated top. There's lots of options here as well. This is the new Ambient 100 hooded jacket. This is what I call a hybrid active insulation. The most basic form of active mid-layer insulation is a grid fleece, like a heavyweight hoodie or a heavyweight zip tee. A wool equivalent of that would be, say, an armor spun merino 330 top. Whatever you choose, the intent is to provide a little bit of insulation with breathability while you're active. So again, I'm moving to a ridge line, to glass, I'm going on a stalk, I'm setting up hundreds of deeks in a field in the pre-dawn. I need something to keep me warm, but I don't want to overheat. The great thing about a mid-layer insulation piece is these will seamlessly transition from an outerwear piece when you're working hard, then layer over top of it and immediately transitions to a mid-layer. So the adaptability of a piece like an ambient hoodie cannot be overstated. This really becomes something that you put on and oftentimes, depending on the weather, don't even take off. But I think that this can be overlooked, and especially in hot weather, you're like, I don't need all these layers. But remember, sometimes hot weather, if you're out overnight, quartering up a bowl, get stuck in that dry wash, can get incredibly cold. So an active mid-layer insulation piece is a critical component to an 8-piece clothing system. The next piece within the clothing system is the static insulated puffy jacket. Now, as stated earlier, I consider a puffy jacket part of my survival kit. No matter the time of year or what I'm doing, I always have some type of puffy jacket in my pack. In the early season, when it's warm weather, I may have a lighter weight, down insulated puffy jacket. It might not even have a hood. This is a Kelvin Aerolite jacket. This is a great foundational piece. You can use this and have this in your pack year round. And maybe when it gets really cold, you start to default to, say, a down insulated puffy jacket that's got even more fill power for that additional warmth. But no matter what, the intent is to trap and capture your body heat and be very stingy about giving that up. So this is a jacket that rides at the top of your pack, just under your top lid. When you stop to take that break, when you stop to get behind the glass, when you get in camp, this is something that you immediately put on. It captures that body heat. It begins to dry out those base layers. And this really becomes a piece that you're living in all the time. I even go so far as to sleep in my static insulated puffy jacket, but I always have one of these choices in my pack year round. The next piece in the system is a WINDSTOPPER jacket. Now I say WINDSTOPPER is a force multiplier, and what I mean by that is is just with the simple application of WINDSTOPPER and the ability to block the wind, stripping body heat away from you through convective cooling, you'll often find that you warm up and can refocus without the penalty of bulk. Also, there's so many options in WINDSTOPPER. This is the Sitka Jetstream jacket. No matter the time of year, again, there is a place in your pack for a WINDSTOPPER jacket. I often get asked, how do I stalk an animal, say an archery animal, within the bow range when it's kind of persistent or intermittent snow or intermittent rain, or there's wet vegetation on the ground that, you know, if I wore rain gear, it would be too loud, or I'm afraid of tearing my rain gear up prematurely. And I always say WINDSTOPPER. WINDSTOPPER is the choice. WINDSTOPPER is going to block the wind, and it allows so many creative solutions as far as product form to make something that's acceptably quiet, very durable, and very functional by blocking that wind. It cannot be overstated that if you can block wind in the backcountry, you're going to stay warm, you're going to stay focused, and you're going to stay on the mountain. Pieces 7 and 8 are a rain gear jacket and rain gear pants. The rain gear is, again, something I consider part of my survival kit. Nothing is going to keep you dry like rain gear. And so I want to make sure that no matter the time of year or what I'm doing, I have rain gear, because I know that if I am trapped above timberline at 13,000 feet in Colorado in August, that it can snow, that getting wet and having to hike to generate body heat can become a fight for survival. And so having rain gear in your pack, even if you don't think you're going to need it, is the best insurance you can carry with you, because oftentimes surprise storms will happen. And if you choose to go hunt in the North Country, in Canada, Alaska, or you go to the Pacific Northwest, or you travel down south to New Zealand, you may find yourself living your entire trip wearing rain gear. And so there's lots of different choices. This is the dew point jacket and the dew point pant, and at £1.50 for the set, this is some of the best clothing you can carry to increase your margin of safety and make sure that if and when that storm happens, you're protected. So I hope this overview of a technical 8-piece clothing system was helpful. I know it can seem daunting sometimes to try to assemble these systems and kind of pick through and understand what exactly you need. Hopefully this is going to make your purchasing decisions easier so that you're building a system that works exactly for your needs. I also want to reiterate that the principles I covered here are not specific to any one category or hunting pursuit. Yes, I talked about a big game system, but it also can apply to a waterfowl system, a turkey system, a whitetail system, or a system that you're just going to assemble to go on a backpacking trip to go train. So I hope that you've found some value here, that you have success this year, that you stay safe, and good luck.